Hello and welcome back to step-by-step GuitarTuition.com. This is the 8th lesson in the Step 6 module for intermediate players, and in this lesson we're going to look at naming the notes on the top E string from the 12th fret onwards. Also I'm going to show you how you can use octaves to help you quickly identify any note on the guitar fingerboard. We've already covered the first 12 frets on the E string in the Improvers module. Now let's continue up the string from the 12th fret. So at the 12th fret you have the note E. At the 13th you got F. At the 14th fret F sharp or G flat. At the 15th fret where you've got the marker, that's G. At the 16th fret G sharp or A flat. At the 17th fret marker A. And then A sharp or B flat. B. B goes straight to C. C sharp D flat. D. D sharp E flat, and so on. Use that to identify the corresponding note at the 15th fret on the top string where the marker is. That's the note G also. One octave higher. And then you can use the 5th fret marker to identify the corresponding 17th fret marker, which is also the note A. A at the 5th, A at the 17th. And then you've got the same at the 7th fret marker B, which corresponds with the 19th fret marker, and C sharp at the 9th, which corresponds with the 21st fret marker. So if you practice using the fret markers at the 3rd, the 5th, 7th, 9th frets, and then the corresponding markers one octave higher at the 15th, 17th, 19th and 21st frets, and this will help you to more quickly identify all the different notes and the keys at the higher end of the fingerboard. Most guitarists find that over time they can identify the notes on the bottom E string and the A string quite quickly, whereas the higher strings and the higher end of the fingerboard take a little more time in practice. This is because most chord, arpeggio and scale patterns that you'll learn tend to have the root note on the bottom strings. Now I'm going to show you a method that you can use for quickly identifying notes higher up the fingerboard using the more familiar 5th and 6th strings fret markers for a reference. We'll start on the 6th string at the 3rd fret marker, which you should recognise as the note G. From there play a G note one octave higher, which is 2 frets up and 2 strings up. So that's 5th fret on the D string. So they're both G notes, 1 octave apart. And from that G note, using the same technique, but this time go 3 frets higher and 2 strings up, G and G an octave higher. So using the octave technique you can locate the 3 G notes, and also don't forget that the top E string is the same notes as the bottom E, so you've also got a G there on the top string. G, G an octave higher, G an octave higher again, and then G on the top string. And then try the same technique on the 5th string at the 3rd fret marker, and that's the note C. So using the same octave technique, 2 frets high, up, and then 2 strings up. That's C an octave higher, and then again from there you've got 3 frets up and 2 strings up. So you can use that octave technique to locate those 3 C notes. And you can try that same technique at the 5th fret marker, which is the note A. 1 octave higher, remember 2 frets up, 2 strings up, A. And from there, 3 frets up, 1, 2, 3, and 2 strings up. So there's all your A's, and an A on the top string as well. And then the same on the A string. At the 5th fret, that's the note D, and then 2 frets up, 2 strings up, that gives you the D an octave higher, and from there 3 frets up and 2 strings up. Repeat that technique at the 5th fret, the 7th, the 9th, the 12th, and then also at the 15th fret and the 17th and the 19th, and then try the same technique in reverse. So for instance, if I was trying to identify the note at the 10th fret on the 2nd string, I can work backwards from there to the octave below, which is 2 strings down and 3 frets down, and then work to the octave below there, which takes me back to the bottom string, 2 frets down, 2 strings down, sorry, 2 frets down, and that gives me the 5th fret marker, which is the note A. So again, trace backwards, there's A an octave lower, down to the 5th fret on the bottom string. So by tracing notes back to the lower string fret markers using octaves, you can quickly identify higher notes, and if say you work back to a note that's in between the fret markers, such as say fret 6, then you'd use the closest marker to work out the note. So if you're on fret 6, you would use the 5th fret marker, A sharp, or you could use the 7th fret marker, B, and identify the note as B flat. That's it for this lesson, and now with practice you should be able to quickly name any note on the guitar fingerboard.